The Radio Memories Network is brought to you in part by Liberated Syndication, podcast publishing made easy, libsyn.com. That's libsyn.com. The Radio Memories Network welcomes you to the earliest days of radio. All this is still ours today through the Radio Memories Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the radio audience.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Radio Journeys. I'm John Grimmett, your guide each week as we go back to the 1920s and 30s and listen to some of the earliest and rarest recordings of radio from that period. And this week, we're continuing to cycle through those great radio serials from 1932. Did I say great? Well, some of them are quite good, and some of them, well, let's just say by today's standards, their production qualities aren't that great. As we cycle through these serials, we continue to ask a lot of questions. When were these shows originally broadcast? Were some of them even broadcast originally in 1932? There's some indication that some of these shows may have been broadcast later than 1932. We know a little bit about some of them, almost nothing about others. The shows we're hearing tonight are The Misadventures of Si and Elmer, Abroad with the Lockharts, Anne of the Airlanes, and George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War. Now, we have a date for George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War, February 23, 1932. That would have been a Tuesday. However, another version of this episode has shown up among collectors, dated from the following week, Tuesday, February 30, 1932. The recording I'm playing for you tonight is of much better quality than that one, and it's dated February 23. Well, one of our faithful listeners sent me an email with some very interesting information, not really about this radio show, but about George Bruce. I thought I'd share that with you tonight. George Bruce was quite legendary back in the 1930s. He was well known as one of the best pilots of World War I, a real fighting air ace. And Bruce was quite an adventurer as well. Back in 1930, there was an article in the Los Angeles Times saying that George Bruce was trapped on a dude ranch near Prescott, Arizona, snowbound. Prescott emergency authorities received an SOS from Bruce and his family for some supplies to get them through their snowbound plight. And that was in January of 1930. Now, by then, George Bruce was not yet on the radio, but he was known as a famous writer of aerial romances, as they called them in those days. It's no wonder, then, that eventually George Bruce had a short-lived radio show. Now, George Bruce's writings, as we hear in the Air Stories of the World War, were featured in a magazine called Aces. And Aces was a major pulp publication of the time. Aces, of course, referring to air aces, famous pilots of World War I. Our listener sent me an article from the New York Times, dated December 28, 1932, that listed Aces as one of 12 pulp magazines that were to suspend publication due to some difficulties in the market. Fiction House Incorporated was the company that published Aces, along with the other 11 magazines. The market, it seemed, was just becoming too competitive. Action stories, detective classics, love romances, and air stories were among the publications affected by the suspension. Aces was listed as one of those. Now, eventually these magazines did come back. Aces did kind of have a revival in 1933. There's no indication in this article, however, of the radio show that had been running supposedly earlier in the year. But nevertheless, it does shed some light on where this program came from. George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War, based on articles and stories that he wrote for Aces magazine, a popular pulp magazine of the day. Now, tonight's episode is the last of the 4 surviving episodes that we have of Air Stories of the World War, and again it's dated February 23, 1932. That would have been a Tuesday night on the radio. Now, because of this date for Air Stories of the World War, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at the newspapers for that date. So here we go. Another peek inside the newspapers for Tuesday, February 23, 1932. And this week it's the Syracuse Herald from Syracuse, New York. Tuesday evening, February 23, 1932. Top billing was Ben Burney and his orchestra, or Ben Burney and All the Lads, as his show was known. Ben Burney was one of the most famous band leaders in all of the history of radio. He was known as the Old Maestro. and the program was sponsored by Blue Ribbon Malt. He was featured Tuesday nights at 9 on the CBS network, originating with WABC, which was then the CBS flagship station. Now, Ben Burney was very famous as the composer of Sweet Georgia Brown. Everybody knows that song. We don't have any recordings of Ben Burney from the radio until, about 1934 or so. But a little search on the internet, and I was able to come up with this one song to demonstrate how Ben Burney may have sounded on the radio in the early 1930s. Here's just a snippet of Ben Burney doing No Trouble But You. Now, another great band leader who was heard on this night, Tuesday, February 23, 1932, was Russ Columbo. Russ Columbo was a crooner, compared often to Bing Crosby in those early days. He was seen often as Bing Crosby's most likely rival. Unfortunately, Columbo died in 1934 from a gunshot wound. We do have some recordings of Russ Columbo from 1933 or so. Not only did he have his own 15-minute radio show 3 nights a week, but he was also featured on some other shows on the radio, including the syndicated Hollywood on the Air. Well, here's Russ Columbo singing Prisoner of Love from the early 1930s.
Tonight you'll find me too weak to break the chains that bind me. I need no shackles to remind me I'm just a prisoner of love.
So Russ Columbo would have been on the air on WJZ, the NBC Blue Network, at 10 p.m. Now, apart from these two great band leaders, Ben Burney at 9 o'clock on CBS and Russ Columbo at 10 on NBC Blue, other programs tonight would have included the international broadcast from Geneva at 6:30 p.m. over the WEAF network of NBC, the NBC Red Network. We mentioned the international broadcast from Geneva last week. The Goldbergs were on the air at 7:45 p.m. over WEAF, and Rudy Valley, who already had his own regular weekly variety show, also had his orchestra on the air at midnight over WEAF and affiliate stations. Also featured over CBS on this night, Merton Marge at 7 p.m., Bing Crosby at 7:15, H.V. Kaltenborn returning once again with news commentary at 7:30. Following Ben Burney's orchestra at 9 o'clock would have been the Crime Club at 9:30 on CBS. And over the NBC Blue Network, we would have heard, of course, Amos and Andy at 7. Rather mediocre programs of the day, including Sylvia Fruce at 7:30 and News from Washington at 7:45 p.m. over the WJZ NBC Blue Network. And sometime during the day over many stations across America, probably in the late afternoon, we would have heard some of these programs we're featuring tonight. The Misadventures of Si and Elmer, which probably would have been on the air at around 5:30 or 5:45 in the evening. Abroad with the Lockharts, on the air right around dinner time. Possibly earlier, though, as it could have been a daytime soap opera. Anne of the Airlanes, and George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War, dated February 23, 1932. So let's get on with the show tonight. I'll be back with a few more comments in about an hour. Enjoy.
And this is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
The Misadventures of Si and Elmer. Punkenville correspondence school detectives are now on the spot. 5 men have disappeared in 5 nights, the hour and method of their removal being the same in all cases. Exactly at 12 midnight, a mysterious train has swept through the narrow, high railroad grade cut, and with every run of this train, a man has gone out to see it and never returned. Si and Elmer have taken the case for the railroad, and while they admit being the best detectives in the world, they also admit that this case is liable to be just a little bit unpleasant for them. It is just 10 minutes before 12, midnight. We find Si and Elmer crouching in the darkness, looking down upon the section car from which 5 men have been spirited away. Just 10 minutes until midnight.
Now, just quit your whining and crying, Si, will you? This is my idea, and that's enough to make it the best idea. And this is the way we're going to do it.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Elmer. But I got the notion that something terrible is going to happen. Just the same as if we wasn't here at all.
Oh, shucks, Si. You know that nothing can get past the sharp eyes of the Snoop and Sneak Detective Agency Limited. What could happen with us watching?
Well, didn't that last railroad detective get killed or something? With Pat, the section boss, watching him?
Certainly he did, but Pat weren't no detective like we be. A lot of things might have happened that he didn't see, not knowing how to look for it.
Now, we won't be able to see no more, Elmer. It's darker here than the inside of a cow.
Now, you look here, Si Perkins. I'm going to explain this to you just once more.
That'll be enough.
Yeah, then if you can't understand, you can go without. Now, here we are, right up on top of this high bank, straight across from that railroad car where all the boys is sleeping, if they ain't too scared to sleep.
Yeah.
And when that train starts a-coming, Pat is coming out of that car and start walking up the track to the bridge.
That's what I'm scared of, Elmer. When we hear that train a-coming and Pat starts a-walking up that track, I'm scared the same thing that happened to the others will happen to him. And we won't see it or know what's happened until it's all over.
Yes, but we can watch Pat from up here on top of the bank. And we can see things that a feller down there on the track wouldn't have no chance to see.
We can't see Pat in the dark from up here, Elmer.
Don't have to see him in the dark. When Pat comes out of the door of that car, he's going to have his flashlight burning with his hand over it, just like this. I'll be here to show you with our flashlight.
Yeah?
There you are. Now look at that. See how just a little light gets through my fingers? Well, Pat'll be carrying his light just like that, Si.
That's a good idea, Elmer.
Betcha.
I reckon we can see him all right, if he don't get too far away.
Si, he ain't going to get far away. Pat figured out where them other fellas was standing when the train come through. And he ain't going past the end of that car. Then if anything happens to him, or he thinks it's getting ready to happen, he takes his hand off the light and we see him.
Yeah, what if something happens to him so quick he don't have time to give us no signal?
Suffering snakes, Si. I've been a-telling you that, ain't I?
No.
The chances is that if anything does happen to him, it'll happen so darn quick he won't have time to give us no regular kind of a signal. But if he's got that light already burning in his hand, he can't help but drop it, can he?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens to him. If the light don't bust by dropping.
Well, if we turned our flashlight on when that happens, we could get a good look at him.
Yeah, I thought of that, Si, long ago. It ain't going to do.
What's the matter?
Well, we don't know just what is going to happen to who.
Yeah.
There ain't no sense in us having light burn our hands so somebody can take a shot at us.
Oh, I'm a-getting a nervous, jumping misery, something awful, Elmer. What time is it?
Well, it must be getting close to midnight now, Si. We've been sitting here in the cold for a long time now.
Yeah.
Well, I get my hand over this flashlight, now let a little crack of light shine on the watch. Hold your head over now, so. Come on, there.
Yeah.
I'll turn it on, then nobody see us.
Yeah.
Hold her steady, Si. Hold that hat steady.
I can't hold her no steadier, Elmer. My hands are so cold, I'm a-shaking all over.
Well, I ain't so darn hot myself, but we gotta hang on now. That's all there is to it. There's been 5 fellers going here already, and there can't be no more while we're watching. Now, let's see. Just exactly 6 minutes to 12. Now, we can't burn that light no more. Time to get close.
Just 6 minutes to midnight, Elmer. Ain't all of this dark around us getting awful close?
For the dandy Goshen, Si. Who ever heard of dark getting close?
Huh?
Dark can't move.
Oh.
Leastwise, no dark I ever seen could, but well, this is mighty dark.
Yeah, and the quiet, Elmer. It's so quiet you can hear it. Listen a minute, and see if we can't hear something doing something.
I don't hear nothing but that awful quiet, Si.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it would be better if we could hear something, I guess. Maybe we ought to be quiet ourselves. Guess nobody can hear us, though, because whatever happens is going to be on that train.
Yeah, but there ain't no train, Elmer. Didn't Pat say he was standing right in the middle of the track when the train went by?
Yeah, that's what he said, all right.
Yeah, no feller can stay in the middle of a track while a train goes by without getting hit, can he?
Certainly he can't, but... Hold it, Si. Hold it, I got it.
You got what?
There's a little ways down there by the end of that car where there's 2 tracks.
Yeah?
And in the dark, it'd be easy enough for a fella to make a mistake and be staying on a switch track and sit him on the main line.
Yeah, you're right, Elmer. And that makes it all the worse. 'Cause the train must have gone past. And it must have gone past so quick and so dark that nobody could see it.
Now, wait a minute. I'm getting an idea, Si. And you know that when Elmer Peabody gets ideas, they is humdiggers.
Well, what is it, Elmer? Something that'll help us here?
Bet your boots it'll help us, Si. Now, look here.
Yeah.
Are you sure them flashlight things will work for your moving picture camera?
Yeah, they'll work all right. All you got to do is to screw them globes into little handles and press the gadget, just like flashlight.
Well, how long does that light burn for, Si?
Well, camera feller said it didn't last but just a second.
And then you can't use it for taking moving pictures, can you?
Well, I don't know. The feller I bought the camera from said it took 16 of them little pictures every second.
Sweet sassafras, Si. 16 snapshots a second?
Yeah, and he said that if I'd open the shutter up...
Yeah, what? Say, how can you open the shutter up?
I said open the shutter up.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Shut her up. How can you open it?
Well, that's on the camera, Elmer.
Oh.
And if I open it up good, it might hit something.
Well, it'll get all we need, Si. Didn't he say the man that knowed his business could take that film and make regular little pictures off of it?
Yeah, he said that if we got any pictures too short to run through that showing machine, we could get one picture made from that film. You know, made on regular camera picture paper.
Yes, I see.
Yeah, and that way we could keep it and get a real good look at it.
Now you got it, Si. Now you got it. Now listen close. And don't get mixed up, because we ain't got much time. Now, I'll hold that little handle with one of them flashlight globes ready in it, you see?
Yeah.
And the other's where I can reach him quick. When Pat comes out of that car, and we hear this train coming, you start that camera going, you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
And don't stop it no matter what happens.
Oh.
Keep the camera pointing the way you see the little light coming from Pat's flashlight in his hand.
Yeah.
And every time I see or hear anything that looks suspicious, I'll shoot off one of them there flashlights, you understand?
Yeah.
And out of them 4 flashes, we ought to get something.
Well, all right, Elmer. There's the things. Careful now, Elmer. Them globes will bust awful easy.
What to do?
Yeah. Now feel right here.
Where?
Well, there's the little gadget you push to shoot them off.
I got a sight. Now I'll get one of the globes in here.
Careful now, Elmer. Elmer, careful.
Shut up, will you, Si? I know how to put in a globe, I guess.
Well, I know, but if you...
Well,
bust it
shut
out-
up.
Oh, well...
There, I reckon that's got it.
What time is it getting to be, Elmer?
Don't reckon we better look again, Si. Somebody might see the light.
Well, we'll put it in my hat again and hold your hat over it.
Well, all right. I guess I'm getting a little mighty nervous myself, Si. Steady now. Now, let's see. It's just 3 minutes to 12 midnight.
No, just 3 minutes, Elmer. I know something terrible's going to happen. Keep the watch and the flashlight right in the hat, Elmer, so we can look again. I got to be sure to get this camera started on time.
Well, I'll leave the flashlight lay there then. And after we figure a couple more minutes is gone, we'll take another look. Now, get your gun ready to shoot, Si. And if you can see anything to shoot at, drop the camera and blaze away at it.
There must be some kind of a light showing on the train, Elmer. I never seen no train at night yet that didn't have some sparks or hot coals or something coming out of the bottom of the engine.
Yeah, that's right.
No, all this is too much for me, Elmer. Don't you suppose them fellas has been imagining them things?
Si, them 5 men don't just imagine they're going, do they? You can ask the silliest things, Si. It was just them Mexican boys that think so. Even Pat ain't too sure he won't be shaking hands with the ghost at 12 o'clock. But them railroad detectives is going, and they know they're going.
Yeah, I reckon you're right, Elmer. And in just a little bit now, we're going to know. Oh, I'm so scared I can't hold this camera very steady. But if anything happens tonight, I'm going to get me a picture of it.
That's a talk, Si. Now, according to what Pat said, you can hear that train way off and faint like. At just 1 minute to 12. And that's the time for you to start your camera. 'Cause at exactly midnight,
yeah,
that train goes through this here cut, right below us here. And by 1 minute after 12, it'll all be over.
Yeah, maybe it'll be all over with us, Elmer.
Oh, rats, Si. Nothing to be scared of. That is, well... Oh, rats.
Rats, Elmer. Ain't no rats here, is it?
You can't tell.
Elmer, you're just as nervous as I be. Elmer, what time is it?
Oh, wait a minute, Si. There now. Oh, that hat's still, will you, Si?
I ain't a-moving it none, Elmer.
You're too.
No, sir. That's you a-doing that. Elmer, you're shaking worse than ever I done.
Si Perkins, don't you ever say that Elmer Peabody was a-shaking. Oh, steady. Watch that little second hand. When she gets up to the top, it'll be... Si, she's getting close. There it is. 1 minute to 12. Start that camera, Si. Did you hear that? Si, did you hear it?
I never heard nothing, Elmer.
Well, I heard plenty. Start that camera.
One minute to 12 midnight. Just 1 minute. And then, what? Your announcer will tell you when you may hear another episode of Si and Elmer over this station.
This is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
Once again, we are abroad with the Lockharts, who are taking a trip through Europe. That is, Mrs. Lockhart is taking Mr. Lockhart. Here we find this typical Mr. and Mrs. enjoying the sights of London and of rural England. As you probably know, Mr. Lockhart represents the average businessman. Blunt, comfortable, knows his own mind, enjoys his business and his home community, and would much rather have gone fishing. Mrs. Lockhart is the pleasant type, a good housekeeper, belongs to the Woman's Club and the Literary Club of her town, and still retains the spirit of romance. We listen in to them as they are about to take a sightseeing trip around London.
Here we are, dear. This is the sightseeing bus.
Lord, I'll feel foolish sitting up there.
No, you won't. Everybody else does it. Now, let's sit in the middle of the bus.
No, let's sit up there near the driver.
Oh, I think it's nicer back here.
Well, I want to be near the guide so I can ask him questions.
But, dear, they don't want to be pestered with questions when they're explaining things.
Now, my dear, you brought me over on this trip to find out things, and I'm going to find them out.
All right, dear. Have it your own way, but do be tactful.
I'm always tactful.
Look, they're getting ready to start. There's our guide. He looks a nice person.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We've a nice morning for our drive around the historical parts of the great city of London, the crossroads of the empire.
Excuse me, guide.
Yes, sir?
What are we going to see this morning?
If I told you that now, sir, you wouldn't have any nice surprises left. All in good time. All right, Harry, let's get started. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, kindly give me your attention, please. We shall start the drive right here at Marble Arch. If you'll kindly look on your left, you will see the arch, and you will notice it is made of marble, and that is how it gets its name, Marble Arch. We are now passing down Park Lane. There's the park over on your right, and here's the lane, and thus we get Park Lane.
Can you understand him, dear?
Pretty well.
Well, I can.
In the park every Sunday, the British working man is allowed free speech when he can holler, "Down with the government, down with the House of Lords."
Guide, doesn't the government stop them from hollering, "Down with the government"?
Oh, no, sir, they couldn't do that. There'd be a revolution. But as long as they let him talk about it, the British working man is quite happy, sir.
Well, why don't we stop here?
Oh, there's too much to see, sir. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Piccadilly. On your left are some of London's exclusive hotels. On your right is St. James Street. And at the bottom is St. James Palace, residence of the Prince of Wales. You ought to pay a visit there before you leave London.
Well, now, dear, these are the places we want to stop and see.
I know, dear, but maybe they don't go there on this trip.
And here's the famous Leicester Square, the Times Square of London. Great theatrical and amusement centre, particularly, if I may say so, after 11 o'clock at night.
Guide, why after 11 o'clock at night?
I'll tell you that on the QT, sir. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching Trafalgar Square, one of the finest open spaces in Europe. On the top of the monument in the centre stands Lord Nelson, who said, "England expects that every man this day will do his duty, and that's why I'm here this morning."
And what did Nelson do?
He's chiefly noted, sir, for winning the Battle of Trafalgar Bay, losing an eye, and keeping Lady Hamilton happy. We are now proceeding down Whitehall. In the far distance is Buckingham Palace. On your right is the Admiralty Arch, and on your left is the famous Scotland Yard you've all read about.
Where's the yard? I don't see any yard.
Dear, don't ask so many questions.
Why, they've put a building up on it now, sir. It used to be right there where I'm pointing, and many's the time I've seen Mr. Sherlock Holmes walk across that very yard.
But wasn't he a fictitious character?
He might have been to you, ma'am, but he was very real to me.
Why do they call it Scotland Yard?
Oh, don't ask so many questions, Will.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, next on your left is the banqueting hall of Whitehall Palace. You see the little window up there in the centre?
Which one? There's about 100 of them up there.
The little one, sir. That's where King Charles I lost his head.
What for?
Don't ask so many questions, Will.
For not giving a right answer, sir. He said no when he should have said yes. And if I may say so, he's the only king in history to have lost his head twice because of those two little words.
How was that?
Why, sir, he lost his head the first time when he said yes to Nell Gwyn, and he lost it the second time when he said no to Cromwell.
You have a sense of humor, haven't you?
Well, sir, I do like my little joke, if I do say so. There's not much pleasure in taking tourists around every day, you know. It's in one ear and out the other. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, on your right is the horse guard. You can see the horses, and the guards are sitting on top of them, and thus we have the horse guard.
Now, don't they look a picture, Will?
Who, the horses?
No, silly, the guards.
We are now passing Downing Street, and at number 10 is the residence of the Prime Minister of England.
I've got to see that. Now, where is that, guide?
I'm sorry, sir, we've just passed it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you have your first glimpse of the House of Lords, commonly called the Old Ladies' Home.
Do we go inside there?
No, sir. No, sir. You can only obtain entrance by permission. Principally, I think, because it interferes with their sleep. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, over on your right is a statue of Abraham Lincoln contemplating Westminster Abbey. And if I may say so, the greatest man of America and the greatest building in England.
Well, now there's old Abe himself, right here in the heart of London.
Now, isn't that fine of them?
It certainly is. But this guide, talks so fast I can't understand a word he says.
And you said slow old England, Will.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, we are now proceeding along the embankment with the River Thames on your right, representing, if I may say so, the liquid history of England. And finally, we will arrive at the Tower of London, which we shall visit.
What did he call the River Thames?
The liquid history of England. Rather pretty, isn't it, dear?
Sounds to me like a slogan for Scotch whiskey.
Oh, Will.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Tower of London, representing the good old days of Merry England and bluff King Harold, the man, if I may say so, who made divorce fashionable. Follow me, please, and keep close together. Oh, you see that man over there in the uniform? He's one of the guards of the tower. They call him the Beef Eaters. That chap, I know him, though. He's a vegetarian. We are now standing on Tower Hill. From the year 1388, 17 executions were performed on the very spot you're standing on, madam.
Oh, mercy.
Follow me, please. Ahead of us now is the Tower Moat. You see the square window up there? Well, from that window, ladies and gentlemen, Lady Jane Grey saw her husband's headless body brought in from Tower Hill.
Good gracious.
My Lord.
Ah, those were the good old days of England. Merry England, not half. This way, please.
Good. Things they did in those days, Will.
I'll never again say these people are slow. This bird has me gasping for breath already.
Here we are, please. Now keep close together. The spot you are now standing on, ladies and gentlemen, is called Tower Green. Very much visited nowadays, and very much avoided, if I may say so, in those good old days I've just mentioned. This was Henry VIII's favourite parting place.
Now that's better. That's more interesting and pleasant.
Who did he part from here, Mr. Guide?
Why, sir, this is where he said goodbye to his second wife, Queen Anne Boleyn, and his fifth wife, Queen Catherine Howard.
How do you mean he said goodbye?
Why, madam, old Henry cut off Anne Boleyn's head here in May 1536,
Heavens.
and Catherine Howard's head 6 years later in 1542.
Oh, dear.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, would anyone like to visit the Bloody Tower?
Oh, no, gracious, no.
No, I guess we've had enough.
Just as you like, sir. Then we'll return to the motor and go back to the hotel.
Well, dear, I'm glad of one thing.
What's that?
That we're going to the lovely Lake District tomorrow to see where Wordsworth lived.
Wordsworth? Who was he?
Why, the poet, dear, you remember. I read one of his poems at the Women's Club back home.
Oh, well, do you know what would please me more than anything right now?
What, dear?
To be able to step into a child's restaurant and order up a good cup of coffee.
Wordsworth's cottage where he wrote his beautiful poems. Wasn't it delightful, dear, and so quaint?
Yes, but I don't see how they ever lived in those tiny cottages.
Look, dear, there's an old character. He must be the man who owns the blacksmith shop. Look, he's coming towards us.
Good day to you.
Good day to you.
A fine day it is for seeing the cottage yonder.
Yes, it's a nice day.
Ah, but fine or wet, there'll be always folk a-coming to visit the cottage. Now, do you mind telling me what it is you think you were going to see in there?
Well, it's Wordsworth's cottage, and he was a very famous man.
Famous, you call it?
Yes, and a poet. And we came to see the place where he lived and worked.
Worked, you call it. Aye, that's what you all think, but I'll tell you different. Old Wadsworth, that's what we called him. he never did a stroke of work in his life.
Oh, well, I don't see how you could say that.
Well, ma'am, I'll tell you. And it's a very disappointing tale, too.
Will, come here. Don't go away.
Yes, your husband will like to listen. Me father knew old Wadsworth. Me grandfather knew him. And a queer man he was. Silent, unfriendly.
Was he really?
He was that. He never bid the time of day to anyone. He'd go on down there to that bit of a rock by the lake that you call Wadsworth Seat, and he'd sit there all day and do nothing. Nothing, mind you, but look at the water and the mountains. We thought he was daft.
Yes, I suppose you would.
Now, you can call that work if you've a mind to, but I'm telling you, old Wadsworth never did a stroke of work in his life, and then he ups and he dies, and all the people say what a fine man he was, till me father was nearly fit to boil, and now they charge a shilling to see where he lived. And yet here was my grandfather, and then me father, and now me, working here by the sweat of our brow and the toil of our hands, from sunrise to sunset. And what do we get out of it? Nothing, young lady. And I tell you, with no shillings coming our way, and very few horses, life is very disappointing.
Well, now, that's a very interesting story. Dear, you see what he's after?
Certainly I do, and he deserves it. Here, my friend, have a glass of beer on me.
And me, too.
Now, that's very kind of you. And I'll drink your health tonight, I will. And thank you again.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good day to you, and God bless you both.
Well, my dear, what do you think of that for technique?
Why, I think it was the most delightful experience I've ever had.
Say, did I say the English were slow?
You did.
I'm dead wrong.
He's dead wrong. And so we leave the Lockharts enjoying the beauty of the English Lake District and the charm of London. Next week, we shall find them again, crossing the English Channel and arriving in Paris, where they continue their experiences abroad.
And this is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
Over valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlanes.
While Jack Baker and Ann Burton are known to be safe for the moment, aboard the airliner, things are happening in Springfield where co-pilot Pete, hostess Kay Thompson, and Bobby Baker, brother of Jack, believe they have hit upon the solution of the mysterious disappearance of a radio room that Bobby chanced to stumble into while visiting the Tyler Sanitarium. A chance mention of magicians gives Bobby an idea, and he brings out a book which shows the tricks of some of the famous magicians of the stage. On reading a certain page, Pete suggests that they go directly to the airport and pick up Art Morrison, who is expected to arrive any minute with his passengers, Aunt Hattie, and a Florida native, Zebulon Abercrombie, or just plain Zeb, who seems to have an interest in the rounding up of the smugglers. Just what has that book on magic to do with the Tyler Sanitarium? Surely Pete cannot believe in the superstitions of the Dark Ages, in the strange powers of unholy rites and weird potions. Suppose we listen as our friends arrive at the Springfield airport.
Gee, that was a good takeoff. But I wonder if that pilot could have done that good if he had to face a hurricane like Jack did on that little island. You think so, Kay?
Well, I don't know, Bobby. Herb's a pretty good pilot. But that brother of yours, well, he's not bad either.
I'll say he's not bad. He's just the best, that's all. No wonder those smugglers wanted him to fly for them. They knew they had to get there with those diamonds, and Jack was the one fellow they could depend on. They didn't know that Jack would join up with it.
Bobby, not a word here. You never know who's going to hear you around this field, and we do know that the gang has someone on duty here who's been giving them some pretty reliable information.
Oh, gosh, that's right. I nearly forgot. Say, it looks like Pete's forgot to come back. He's been over at that radio room long enough to
Oh,
send
he'll be along in a minute. He's got an awful lot to talk about, you know, and a lot to find out, incidentally, about what's been going on since we left here. Oh, but I do wish he'd tell us about Morrison and that Aircat.
Yeah, and he's got that book on magic with him, too. I just hope he doesn't lay it down somewhere and forget it.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Bobby. He's hanging on to that book so he can show Art Morrison how we were fooled that first time we looked for the radio room in the Tyler Sanitarium.
Gosh, I wish Mr. Morrison and Aunt Hattie would show up pretty soon. I want to get over and see if I'm right about that. Oh, Pete's coming over here now. When are they getting in, Pete?
We ought to be hearing their motors any minute now, Bobby. There goes the light now.
And that's an Aircat motor, too. There's his light, see?
Oh, he seems to be bringing it in pretty fast, doesn't he, Pete?
Well, it looks fast from here, all right, but that's just about right for an Aircat.
Oh?
We came in like that, only you probably didn't notice it. Morrison can handle a ship okay. I found that out.
Pete, do you honestly think that he's a government radio man?
Bobby, remember what I told you.
Oh, gee, that's right. Gosh, you just can't trust anybody anymore.
See anyone in the cabin, Kay? I mean, besides Aunt Hattie?
Yeah, she's in the back seat, and there's someone up front with Mr. Morrison. I guess this Zeb made the trip all right.
Say, where did Tony Johnson go to, Pete? I thought he said he was going to wait right here until his Aircat got in.
It's a funny thing about Tony. He's hardly had a wink of sleep since those fellas stole that ship the other night. So when we got the radio call just a minute ago that Morrison was just about to land, Tony gave a sigh of relief, sat down on the bench in the radio room, and went quietly but very soundly to sleep.
Ah, good old Tony. I guess the relief was just too much after all the suspense. Well, Aunt Hattie, you don't look much the worse for your experience. Nor you, Mr. Morrison.
Well, I can't say that I want to go through with it again very soon. Oh, have you heard anything about...
Anne? No, not a thing, Aunt Hattie. That is, any more than you probably already know. She's safe on the transport.
Oh, if you can call that safe.
Art, all I can say is that for a person whose business is radio, you do a mighty nice job of handling an Aircat. And they're plenty tricky if you don't know them, too.
Thanks, Pete. Well, let's see here. I want to introduce you to a friend of ours we picked up in Florida.
They picked us up, you mean? At the point of a rifle.
I guess that is a little more accurate. Anyhow, Zeb here has sort of joined us in our little business enterprise. Mr. Abercrombie, I want you to meet Miss Kate Thompson, host of Sprint State Airlines.
Mr. Abercrombie?
I'm Zeb to my friends, miss.
Kay to my friend, Zeb.
Miss Kay. So you're a hostess. I guess maybe I'll have to do more of my traveling by airplane after this. Only I've been doing more of it in the last couple of days than I ever counted on.
And this is Pete Peterson. He's Jack Baker's co-pilot when Jack is on his regular run for interstate. I think he'll be with us in this. Is that right, Pete?
Yeah, Art. Got the word this evening about that. Sure glad to meet you, Mr.
Just plain Zeb, Pete. I always like to use first names. It don't sound so formal as using Mr. all the time, and sometimes when you're hollering for help, well, saying Mr. So-and-so every time you yell would sort of hamper you, so to speak.
Right you are, Zeb. You're a man after my own heart.
And this is Bobby, Jack Baker's brother.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Abercrombie.
Same thing goes for you, too, Bobby. I know all about how youngsters should be respectful, but you can be respectful and still call me Zeb, can't you, Bobby?
I'll say I can, Mr. Zeb. Say, didn't you feel kind of funny when you bailed out of that ship the very first time?
Bailed out? I'm sort of feared
He means when you parachuted down back there in the Everglades, Zeb.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so, Bobby? Yeah, I guess I did at that. When I felt that airplane go off and leave me hanging there in nothing but space, I kind of had my heart in my mouth. I bet I counted 10 faster than I ever did before. Then I just pulled that latch string and prayed. And the next thing I knowed, I was just sort of floating down, ashamed of myself for being scared in the first place. Did you ever,
bail out?
Thanks. Bail out, Pete?
Afraid I have, Zeb. Two-time member of the Caterpillar Club.
There's too many funny names in this here game to suit me. Caterpillar Club.
I might explain, Zeb. The Caterpillar Club is sort of an honorary group of flyers who have been forced to take to their parachutes to save themselves from a crash. Almost all of the veterans are members.
But you don't hear much of it anymore because the planes are just about as foolproof and weatherproof as science can make them. And with radio, you know just where you're going. But look, Art, I think Bobby has stumbled on something interesting, and it's right in your line. So if we can get off this field and get somewhere where we can talk without a chance of being overheard, I'll give you the lowdown.
Oh, well, just a minute, Pete. Aunt Hattie went into the administration building to get her bags.
Oh, here she comes with him now. I'll help her with him. I'll help you carry your bags, Aunt Hattie.
And I thought I was having excitement when I was down with the natives in Africa. But that couldn't hold a candle to hanging around one of these airplane fields. Something going on all the time. Just look at the size of that one that just landed. Big as a house. Lots bigger than some I've lived in.
Well, that's the regular flight that came from Detroit, Zeb. Oh, everything all right, Aunt Hattie?
They were there just like I left them, Kay. I was wondering if that pilot would take them back to Detroit when he couldn't find me.
Oh, you got your car here, Pete?
Yeah, it's on the other side of the building. I think we can all crowd in. Well, that's the only way to travel for me, huh?
Yeah, certainly was a remarkable
Oh, we wait until those passengers from the Detroit ship have gone through the gate, and then
Pete, look, that fellow right there, the one with the black hat.
Which one? What do you mean, Bobby?
You see, the fellow that's walking with a kind of a limp?
Yes, I see the one you mean. What about him, Bobby?
Well, that's the fellow I told you about that I saw in the radio room in the Tyler Sanitarium.
What?
The one that was working on some kind of a machine and that talked with a foreign accent, remember?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Bobby, you sort of fall in line with him and see if you can find out where he goes from here. Think you can do that?
Oh, sure I can, Pete.
And meet us at my car as soon as he leaves.
Okay, Pete, I'll do it if I can.
That fella looks sort of familiar to me. I was just trying to figure out where I'd seen him before.
It's a fellow that Bobby saw in the radio room of the Tyler place when he happened to stumble onto it once.
And they disappeared like magic when we went to look for it a couple of hours later.
Now, wait a minute, young fella. You mean to tell me that a regular radio station in a room just went poof like that?
I know it sounds like something out of a book, Zeb, but that's just about it. We went to the exact place we'd been before, and, well, it just wasn't there, that's all. It was just kind of a laundry room like you'd find in the basement of any hospital.
They told me the same story, Mr. Zeb, and, well, it sounds just a little far-fetched. Although, to tell the truth, it's not one bit more preposterous than anything that's happened in the last week.
Oh, well, I ain't saying that it didn't happen, ma'am, because I've seen them African voodoo doctors work.
Oh, here's the car. Put Aunt Hattie's bags in the trunk, Pete.
There you are. If I can just find this key. Oh, here it is.
You getting back, Aunt Hattie. You and I'll drop out at my house. You must be worn out completely.
Oh, I certainly am, Kay. But if I thought I'd hear anything from Anne, I'd be willing
She's all right. You can bet on that. As long as Jack is around, she'll be okay. But look, Art, here's what I was going to tell you about that room. While we was talking about it a while ago, Bobby got an idea and dug up a book on magic. You know, one of these exposés of some of the tricks by famous magicians. But there's one in there that, well, it seems to fit the case.
Magicians? Now, see here, if you folks are going to start bringing in them things, I'd just as soon go back to Africa and the voodoo doctor.
Pete, you're not serious about this magic thing, are you?
Mr. Morrison, I fear that the strain of the last week has been telling on Mr. Pete. Either that or he's grasping at any explanation he can find to explain the cleverness of this gang.
Go on, laugh if you want to. But you just wait until we get to Kay's house. I'll show you in this book here. And I think you'll agree with us that all the magic isn't on the stage. Oh, here comes Bobby. Everything okay, Bobby?
Yes, okay, Pete.
We better get away from this airport before we say anything.
Good idea, Art. You getting back, and Bobby, you and Zeb climb in with me, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, was it the same fellow, Bobby?
Yeah, sure was. And he was met right outside the depot by a big car. I tried to get the license number, but it was too dark, and they didn't have any taillights showing on the plate.
Was it Doc Tyler's car?
I don't think so, Pete. At least not the one he usually uses. Well, anyway, this foreign fella said something to the driver. I couldn't see who he was either. And then, as he got in, he said, "We must hurry, for we have many messages to send tonight, and I must talk to the doc first."
Did you see which way they went?
Yeah. They headed right out on the street that takes you up to the Tyler Hospital.
Fine. We'll stop at Kay's house so you and Zeb can take a look at this book, Art. And then we'll head out that way ourselves and see if Bobby's as good a detective as I think he is.
Well, I know he is. And I know he's right about that magic trick business. Because I just remembered where I seen that foreigner that walks with a limp.
So Zeb remembers the man with the limp. Just how does he connect this man with the mysterious radio room and the Book of Magic? Will our friends be successful in solving the enigma? And will the messages that seem so important to the stranger have a bearing on the fate of Ann Burton as she crouches in the cramped quarters of the baggage compartment of the transport that is carrying Jack Baker and the two gangsters toward their first goal, Cape St. Roque? More thrills and adventures unfold when you tune in the next episode of Anne of the Airlines.
This is KHJ, the Don Lee Station, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present another in the series of war air stories by that ace of all air story writers, George Bruce. George Bruce was a pioneer in flying. His stories are reflections of his own crowded life and of the lives of other American war pilots. They are published exclusively in Aces magazine, which, incidentally, has the largest newsstand sale of any magazine devoted to flying stories. The scene of today's story is laid in the Envoy sector of war-torn France, the fog-hung flying field of the American 5th Squadron. Cochran, a red-headed Irish boy, taxis his plane to a halt before number 1 hangar, drags himself out of the seat, and is met by Hendricks, the squadron CO.
All right, Major, ask me where they are. Where Green is, and Burgess, and Willis. Go ahead, ask.
I'm sorry, old son.
You'll have to go to Germany and ask that devil Von House. He got those boys. Sent us up in a morning like this to attack a fiend as smart as that German ace. Sent us up in a bunch of lousy crates that ain't no more than floating rat traps. You know, these wallops we're taking from Von House and his damn 31st Jagdstaffel aren't accidents. They're handed out by superior flyers and the best ships in the world. And we got it this morning, let me tell you.
Easy, lad, easy.
What the hell do they mean by sending us up to fight that flock of buzzards? We never had a chance. Von House got loose. Nobody could stop him. God, how that Prussian can fly. First he shot down Willis and Burgess, and then he got on young Green's tail.
What happened to him?
Oh, what the devil do you think had happened to a kid just out of school? Von House cut the ship right out from under him, the baby killer.
I'm damn sorry, Cochran.
Oh, sure. Well, here's something to be really sorry about. John Cormorant tried to save Green. Cormorant's Spad went after Von House and that black fucker with the white skulls painted on the wings. And then... Oh, God.
Kid.
Oh, go on, let me go, Mom. I'm all right.
God, don't tell me Cormorant is...
I'm telling you that you've lost the best commander that a flight ever had. He wasn't a kid like the rest of us. Captain Cormorant could fly. If he'd had something to fly in. And he could have got Von House, too. Why didn't he go by me like a bat out of hell? I could see his face with that twisted nose and his big grin and his jaw sticking out like a dreadnought. You know that tough face of his, Major. Well, for once, it looked happy.
So Captain Cormorant was shot down?
No. His lousy crate conked on him. His motor went dead and his ship stopped flat in midair. And then Von House rolled over under him and let go with both guns. I saw Cormorant fall over and over, blazing like a comet. He was fighting to straighten her out right to the last. But I saw him hit the ground, Major. Oh, I can't stand it, Hendricks. I can't stand it. Cormorant hit, and he hit in German territory. There was a big flash. Stop the pain. Oh, I'm burning. Baby killer's got me. Where am I now? Where am I? Oh, the pain.
Oh, my bull Yankee. Cinder comes to life, eh? Gott in Himmel, but there's one tough piece of beefsteak.
I can see. Where am I?
In the field hospital where you have been for 3 days unconscious. Thanks to me, you are alive. I brought you here.
Oh, you're Van House, huh? The baby killer.
Burn swine.
Oh.
But Dr. Dietrich says you are to live.
Yeah, I can save you, young man.
Oh, for God's sake, Doctor, stop the pain.
In 1 moment you shall sleep again. But Captain Van House has come for a word with you. Ja, Van House. Speak quickly here, Captain. He's in no condition.
Look, you Yankee. They make you a proposition.
Proposition? Oh, go away, I'm dying.
You're not dying, my friend. Your burns were no more fatal than the broken legs and smashed ribs. The greatest doctor of the fatherland has saved you to live.
Oh, damn you, what do you want?
Listen to me. You will live, Yankee, but what a life. You know how you are burned? In the face, my friend. Burned beyond human recognition. You have no face at all. It is to laugh. Yeah. You are without any face at all. You understand? Your goggles save the eyes from the flames, but the rest is gone. Gone. You want to live with such a skull? Fine. The great Dr. Dietrich can save you from such a fate. The master surgeon will make you a face. Yes, Herr Doctor?
Yeah, a fine new face. In time, a splendid face. Have I not done it before? I have made faces out of nothing. God knows there's flesh enough on hand to work with.
Yeah, Yankee. A new face, but only on one condition.
What's your game, Van House? What do you want of me?
To live as you are, burned, faceless you. Well, you will not like it so. A veritable Frankenstein, eh? But if you agree to what I want, you shall be as good as new. Lips, cheeks, you shall have a splendid nose.
You have to torture me. What do you want, then?
This is my plan. You will pilot a plane. You will stage sham battles with me. We will tour Germany together on exhibition flights. You will speak through me to my people. You will be flying one of your own inferior ships. You will fly against me, one house the greatest of German aces, and I will fly rings around you to prove the superiority of German flyers and planes against Allied men on ships. My country will flock to join the service. I will gather together the greatest Jagdstaffel in all the world. Our enlistments have been slow, but you and I will bring them in. You will promise yourself to the Kaiser for a face.
Get away. Get out of here. I'll strangle you, you rotten dog.
Nine. You will give your word of honor to do as I say. For a face, you will do it.
I'll kill you for this, Van House. I'd rather live with the face of a pig than...
And you have it, my friend. Herr Doctor, the mirror.
Here, Herr Captain.
There, my fine Yankee. Take a good look. The mirror does not lie, my friend. That is you. You like it, eh?
For God's sake. Take it away. Take it away. God, take it away. I haven't any face. I haven't any face. Oh, God, I promise. I'll fly with you.
And so, my friend, the day has come to remove the mask. Off with the bandages, and you shall see yourself physically perfect again. And how you feel today, huh?
I feel good enough. So I got a new mug, have I?
Ah, guten Morgen, Captain Van House.
Guten Morgen, Herr Doctor. Well, Captain, come on. You look yourself in the eye today.
Let's get it over with, then.
Into the chair. So, it will hurt a little. Nah. Mein Gott, it's done. There, the last bandage.
Marvelous. Perfect. The man is an Adonis.
Give me that glass. By God in heaven. Whose face is that? That's me, is it? say you think that's me? You lousy, rotten punk of an army medical. I'll break you.
The beast is choking me. Come here, look. There I have him. What's the matter, you dog? Are you not satisfied? Cupid himself never had a better mouth.
I'd like to break your neck for this, you bosh hound. Give me a face, did you? A face like a little boy.
Stop that kicking or I riddle you. You have a face, have you not? Better than that burned skull you were left with? You should complain. Do not your countrymen name me the baby-faced killer? Himmel. The face of a baby, then, is just what you deserve. Are you going on tour with me at once? You will not break your word.
All right. What the hell do I care? I'm not John Cormorant anyhow. I'll go. Leave me alone for a minute, will you? I'll go.
So, we'll leave you alone for a few minutes. Come, Doctor.
That's not me. I'm not John Cormorant. Not for this sweet map. It was John Cormorant made that bargain with those devils. I'll smash that promise the first chance I get. I'll kill Van House if it's the last thing I live to do. Another day. Does this cursed rain never stop? And another bunch of those kids from the ground school for me to take up to the slaughter. I tell you, Major Hendricks, I'm sick of it. Sick of it, you hear?
We're all sick of it, boy. But this seems the only way of stopping it. You'll find the new man over...
Man, is it? Bah. What our outfit wants is another John Cormorant to run the show. Poor old John. It's been over a year since Cormorant went. And the Jerrys have been laying it all over us ever since. Where do they get those pilots? The sky around here is full of new ones and good ones all the time. We need a man like Cormorant.
Cochran, I haven't wanted to show you this, but I've got to.
What is it?
Came through from last night.
Let me have a look at it. To all pilots of the Air Service AEF, it is reported that one Captain John Cormorant, formerly of the 5th American Pursuit Squadron, is now in active service in Germany, assisting Baron von Haus in spreading propaganda to discredit the Allies and bolster the enemy morale. Oh, by heaven, Hendricks, this can't be true. Who started this rot? Why Captain Cormorant?
Major Hendricks. Come in. Major Hendricks. There's a man outside who insists on seeing you, sir. Straggler by the looks. Says he was a flyer with the British Air Force. Wants to join our outfit. He's unarmed, sir.
Turn him over to the guard.
Don't turn me over to the guard, sir. I'm a pilot. Can't find my bloody outfit.
What's your name, you?
Name? I can't remember, Major. I got a knock on the head. But I promise you I can fly. I've been in the base hospital at Vozelle.
Turn him over to the guard. Have the OD call Vozelle. Get a line on him.
Yes, sir. Come on.
All right.
Listen, Cochran.
Yes, sir.
Get a look at that chap's face.
I did.
Something familiar about the eyes. He carried himself like a flyer, but that queer, young-looking face.
Yes, it was queer, sir. And he gave you a damn funny look. Boy's face. Well, why not? Why not? The 5th Pursuit is getting to be nothing but a damn kindergarten anyway. But this report, sir. Do you mean to tell me that you believe it's an attack, sir?
Come on, Captain. Let's go.
Yes, wait a second.
Major Hendricks. That man got away.
There he goes, Major. Make it for the ship. By God, he's got into that gang of new men. Look, he's taking off.
Stop that man.
Those great walls, they think he's one of us.
Stop him.
Stop him. Get that madman. Hey!
Look, my God, that's Von House's ship. That one with the skulls and the wings.
Look out.
He's off.
God, that man's a flyer.
He's shooting already. That sight, sir. Look at that man climb. Hey, they're dropping on him. Look, Hendricks. Look, he's got the one off his port wing. There, it's crashed.
Van House is dropping on him. He's got him, Cochran.
No.
Stands away.
Good.
That fellow's got the second Dutchman.
Yes.
Did you ever see such as doing?
Yes, who is that baby-faced kid? Hendricks. Von House is missed. Look at the kid, Chandel. Hey, Von House is on his tail. Look out, kid! No, it's all right. The kid's going to get him.
Get him, kid. Let him go. Look at that kid go.
He's got him now. He's got him. He's got Von House. The kid got the German ace. Von House falls.
They're both falling. There goes the German, and there's the kid, right in the middle of the field.
he dead, Major? Did they get him out in time?
A bad crash. His face is all smashed up. But that seems about all.
I'm all right. Is that you, Cochran?
What's that?
That you, kid?
You know me?
All the time. I'm Cormorant.
What is this you're saying? You? Cormorant?
Yeah. It's me, kid. Oh, what's left of me.
Oh, John.
I'm done for, Cochran.
Oh, no, Captain, no. You gotta pull through. The Fifth needs you, John. The Fifth needs you.
I'm all through, kid. My face.
Oh, well, that'll be all right, Captain. Honest, it will. They'll fix that face up.
You mean this face is wrecked? Did I crack up that pan? Say.
Oh, don't, please, Captain. You gotta hang on. We need you, John.
Okay, youngster. Only this time, tell the Sawbones to give me a nose I can thumb.
The dramatized story by George Bruce you have just heard was taken from Aces, the pioneer air story magazine. Your news dealer has George Bruce's latest story featured in the current issue of Aces.
George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War from February 23, 1932. The last of 4 surviving and known episodes of that program. Next week, more of these great radio serials from 1932, plus another episode of Anson Weeks and his orchestra. Now, in case you were wondering where I'm getting all these great newspaper clippings, well, they're all coming offline. They're available at newspaperarchives.com. It's a great service for only about, $35 or $40 a year. You get access to hundreds of newspapers, most of them from small-town America, none of the major city outlets. But it's a lot of fun to go through these newspaper archives and hunt for old radio schedules. Doesn't matter whether the schedules were printed in major city newspapers or small suburban communities. They're still quite informative and quite useful. Check it out. That's newspaperarchives.com. And as usual, we appreciate all of your comments and suggestions and helpful hints here at the Radio Memories Network and on Radio Journeys. Our address here is radiojourneys@gmail.com. And so until next week, everybody, have a very good week, and I'll see you back here. Bye-bye now.
All the day through. I've no cares as long as there's no trouble. No trouble.